Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dreams Unveiled with your host, Daun Whittaker.
And Melissa Salazar.
And I just want to thank you for tuning in last week, where my host was my son, Danny Burke, and he really enjoyed the opportunity and has had some good feedback. So we'll be doing that again, probably on Zoom. I can't go out to Texas that much.
No, unless you can.
Unless I can. Yeah, if that does happen, I'll make a point. So today we have a pretty good dream, and it may be something that all of you can relate to, maybe not. We're going to give this a shot. I'm going to read the dream. It's a relatively long dream, but I don't think it's going to be a relatively long interpretation.
Yeah.
It's a lot of symbolism for the same meaning. And there are some things in the dream that a dream that we're going to do for next week is also going to have some similar symbolism. And we're going to actually talk about that symbolism when we do the dream next week more in length, because it's a good thing for people to know if they're doing their own dream interpretation.
Yeah.
So with that said, I am going to read the dream. Hi, Dawn. I follow many of your dream videos on YouTube. I have been looking for one on people being naked. I woke up this morning to a very unusual dream. I had entered a building that I've never been to before. I was opening a door to a room in this building. First time there. Don't know where or what it was. When I went to walk in the room, I was surprised to see a room full of naked women standing around talking, laughing, and eating. I'm talking about 20 to 30 women. These weren't beautiful model types, ordinary women of all sizes, fully naked. Some were not interesting but shocking, many overweight in extreme sizes. One woman wore half of her jeans, one leg covered by the jeans and the waist belt to hold it up. All body parts were exposed. I quickly walked back and shut the door. Their laughter at my surprise could be heard in the hall where I stood. I even thought I saw facial hair on some. They were rugged looking. It was very disturbing. My first thought was, why is this in my head? I know I am conscious about weight, but I don't understand the point of the group. The one woman with one leg covered. In other words, that was something that was very shocking. She didn't have any understanding of it. So let me give you a little bit of information about Judy. Judy is a lovely woman. She is a much older woman, and I know she does battle with weight. She does have issues with how she looks. And one of the biggest things, there's a few things here, just as far as Judy goes. Judy, at her age, she wants to try new things and really make new friends and do all of that. But she's at an age, people in their 80s, where they are not quite as ambitious and adventurous, or physically they are unable to be as Judy is. So Judy,
I do love that about Judy. That's great for Judy.
Judy is someone I know, and I love this woman. She is remarkable, very remarkable. And
you need to make younger friends.
Absolutely. She is, and she is doing what she can with what she has to work with. But she's very self-conscious about her weight. And I think, when you're a younger person trapped in an older person's body, it's very easy to be resigned and feel bad for your body failing yourself, right? There's that, and that may be, and I'm only bringing that up. The dream's not about that necessarily, but I think that is a vulnerability she has typically. This is something she is self-conscious about, and it has an impact on her.
Well, that's kind of sad. As women, we do have that stigma of our bodies and things like that for us to even be older,
I know.
Still always having to think how does my body look, instead of just loving our bodies.
Well, I know, and that really is the culture. I mean, me, I will tell you, I'd probably have a whole lot more trouble about it if I wasn't a cyclist. If my body couldn't do so many great things, I would probably be much more conscientious about my weight. But I really I hit my scale all the time. I'm always, very aware of that kind of thing. But I don't let it bother me so much because I know I could still beat my kids up. No, I'm just kidding.
Still run faster than the kids.
Yes, absolutely. I can outride them.
Right.
All of it. Yeah, so we're good. But I think the dream, what it's actually about, and what was going on at the time, is Judy has a son, and the son has some mental health issues and has had some pretty significant trauma in his life, and he's been working through therapy for a very long time, very, very many years, and and what's happening to her son, and I don't know her son's name, but he's getting really embittered towards his parents, and actually has been for a long time, has held them responsible, even though they had nothing to do with the trauma. It was a very awful situation, but they had nothing to do with it. And he is really seeking almost reparations from them, like really treating them poorly, and really because of his own struggles in dealing with this.
Yeah.
He loves his parents, but he can't get past the trauma. And sometimes, I'm just going to say this because I can say this, I am in private practice. I am a licensed therapist. And, we have to work with what we see and what we hear and what is the information that is being provided to us. So even the best therapist cannot, doesn't always have all of the information.
You're not a mind reader.
That's right. I remember one time I was counseling a teenage girl, and one of the things I do when I have kids in there and they have anxiety and everything, is I will ask them, do you have a problem with cutting? Are you cutting? And she indicated absolutely not. She does not. And we were having some pretty decent therapy, and all of a sudden I get a message from her mom, like going, how did you not know this? And she was really upset. Well, it was, in winter, she had long sleeves on, but it would be expected. But I'm not going to force her to roll her sleeves up, right? What that shows is that she didn't trust me enough to share that information. And, really, had I had that information, what I would have said is, I would have talked to her, and it may not have been a good fit for counseling. Hopefully this is really healing for him, but a lot has happened with this current counselor, and he is really coming after his parents. And I think sometimes when we have bad things happen, we want to purge that. We cannot handle that kind of negativity and pain. And we try and purge it, and we do that to the people we trust and love the most. So, but anyway, enough of that. Now, let's talk about, what does this dream mean? This is a significant background, significant things that are happening at the moment. It is a reflection of how she feels about herself already.
In the dream, yep.
So, that's what we have. So, first of all, we have a brand new building that she's never had any contact with in any way. And so what would that represent? It's very likely a new place in your life, right? A new place.
Chapter.
That's right. And I think really it is. Part of this may be, like I said, her own inner feeling. She really is coming to this point of, I need to eat differently, do this differently. I don't like where I am in my life. So that can be just an undertone.
Right.
That she
like
just feels
like
that way.
Change.
The idea, I think probably the best representation for going into this brand new building is she is stepping out of her comfort zone. And I think dealing with her son has been very difficult for her, especially because the trauma is so old that there's not any...
it's like reopening a wound,
it
a fresh
is.
wound.
Yes.
Right.
And it did. It impacted the whole family. So I think that all the way around that has been extremely difficult, especially when you're at a place in your life where you're wanting to find new friends, find new experiences.
Right. Do things positive in your life.
That's
and
right.
You still have this horrible burden to the family still lingering around.
Absolutely. So I think, there's a lot of conflict here between Judy's already existing feelings about herself, and then compounded by something old that is now really revisiting her strongly.
Yeah.
And trying to live the life she wants to live. So I understand why she would have this dream, right? What a conflict, an internal conflict for her this is. So opening a door is easy. Opening a door is, opportunity. Mm-hmm. So here she is opening a door. There's an opportunity, and it could be an opportunity for change, could be an opportunity for growth, whatever the situation. This would be one of those things, how she feels about it. When the door is closed, that really represents a boundary, that is a protective boundary, that you're not ready for whatever is behind the door. So if you dream that you're going through a door, or you want to go through a door and you can't open the door, that's what that means. That's a boundary. Yeah. But an open door is an opportunity. So here she is with this opportunity and walks into a room full of
naked people.
Yes, and a lot of people. And 20 to 30 women, and they're just hanging out, having the time of their life. They seem to all be in pretty good moods, and they're acting very natural and casual.
Yeah, nudist building she went into.
And we'll talk about the woman that has the one pant leg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. As far as overall, they're just really having a gathering, enjoying themselves.
Just letting it loose.
And here she is looking on in this group, and she's mortified. Mm-hmm. She absolutely is. Oh my gosh, I can't do it. And she just goes to shut the door. She looks around and then she just shuts the door.
She goes right
so
out.
What happens is she put up a boundary. This is way too much. This is too raw for her. So basically, what are we dealing with? Normally, a bunch of naked people, any naked people, if you are naked, really represents extreme vulnerability. Mm-hmm. So if you have that, giving a speech naked or anything like that, that's just representing that vulnerability or something very, very similar to that. She was not naked, so it's not about vulnerability for her.
She was clothed.
She has all of her clothes on, and she looks at that, and it freaked her out, and she closed the door. So what that actually shows is that she is really having trouble with the raw reality that she is facing. The naked women, especially of all sizes and shapes, and especially some of them looked rugged, as she had described.
Facial hair.
For women that are older, that may be a representation of her age. It's almost like when you think about it, this is a person, she feels younger than she is. She wants to do more. She wants new experiences. She may not physically be able to do everything that she used to, but she is, right. She loves life. She wants to be able to participate in life and learn new things and be around new people and all of that, which I have the greatest respect for. I'll tell you, I just counseled a kid, and we were talking, and he's talking about grown-ups kind of being stick in the muds. And you come into my therapy room, and you see my Nerf guns in the back corner, and all of that, and I have games and things. And
so we're like, oh, all right.
Yeah. And I said to him, I go, you know what the problem with grown-ups is? They don't play anymore. That's what and it's true. Yeah. You need to play. Everybody needs to play.
Go outside.
You need to be in touch with that part of you. So
live a little.
That's right. So here she is, and she may not want to play Nerf war with me, but she would appreciate the idea. And she really is trying to find all these new ways to enjoy life. So we have all these women now. Sorry about that. I digress. We have all these women of very different shapes and sizes and so forth. And probably they are all some aspects of her.
Right.
Right? And I think that is a very interesting thing. I actually think that the gene leg, the pant leg that is on that one person.
She's probably thinking like pointless.
and it really is. It's arbitrary, right? Where she's trying to hide from the raw reality.
Right.
But really, you can't. You have to face this.
Right.
She has to face everything. And the thing is, sometimes we don't want that in our mind. And that's good, by the way. Don't ever be afraid to not want negativity in your mind, okay?
That's good, yeah.
And of any kind. But sometimes life happens and we have to really address all of that. But it's unpleasant. It's painful. I mean, we're talking about pain.
I mean, these are like raw emotions, we go through.
That's absolutely right. So what she is really seeing is coming face to face with the controversy she's dealing with right now, with everything, how she feels about herself, which is why it's represented that way. Mm-hmm. It's represented by all of these women that should be vulnerable, that should never be okay.
But they're fine.
They're
having a great time.
She has set up that boundary. She cannot handle anymore, right? And I think this is a lot related to her son. She just can't handle anymore. That there are varying degrees of women that represent her difficulty in accepting this very raw reality. It's a raw reality. That really is what she is facing. And she just needs to find a way to shut it out sometimes. It's too much. It's kind of like you're watching a horror movie and you're trying to look away and someone's holding your face like this to make you watch. And you can't. And life has a way of doing that to us, right? This is maybe not with extreme trauma, but most of us have found ourselves in very uncomfortable situations that we're talking about, uncomfortable. Yeah. But meanwhile, she's still in this new building and opened a door to her room that she's never been in, which really shows that there is some transition and that she is very much, this is the big thing, very much out of her comfort zone, right? Yeah. She's really having a hard time dealing with it. And I think as we get older, we do get less tolerant of things. I mean, that's just kind of...
I think you get kind of, less tolerant, but also more like wise on like, what you want in like a friendship or...
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
In a situation that you're putting yourself into, you don't want to have to like deal with something you don't have to put yourself through.
That's right. You're right. And I think because of that, this is so far out of her comfort zone and she doesn't want to be there. So she just shuts the door. Yeah. And that may be her mind saying, maybe we need to find a new way to deal with this situation. This is not effective.
Right.
But meantime, this may be really making her feel incapable and
moving on with doing what she wants to do because she's always been burdened by...
I think that because she is older and this has been something that happened a long time ago and she is less flexible, even though she's probably more flexible, I think, than most people her age, I think she is feeling like, I can't deal with this. I just can't deal with this. And I think that's making her feel all of these other emotional pains. I'm overweight. I'm an older woman. I have limitations, all of that stuff. I think that really, when you encounter something like this, it's like almost physically when somebody elderly falls.
Yeah.
And they don't ever quite get back to that place where they were.
Yeah.
And I know she's going to get back to that place, but it's very much a raw reality check of where you are in history and biography and what you have to work with to handle what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much sums that up.
Yeah. But I mean, Judy, I would take baby steps on, making new friends and doing new activities.
Absolutely. And when she closed the door and she still heard everybody laughing in the room, I think this is really the biggest thing. And this is the theme with everything with the son, everything with how she feels about the way she looks, her capacity, everything. She feels judged, right? She closes that door, she creates that boundary, and everyone's laughing at her. See, at that point, they're laughing at her behind that closed door.
Right.
And so she just very strongly feels judged. Because she's not handling all of this well. And you know what? I'm going to be honest, it's not a situation anybody would handle well.
Yeah, seems like a tough situation.
It is. And this is where you have to really depend on a lot of prayer and a lot of support and get through it. It's not going to be
an easy road at all, but you guys can handle it and you guys got this.
Absolutely. I think that Judy, that her subconscious mind is really preparing her or helping her to navigate through this, and it's protecting her. You know, our subconscious minds are great at protecting us. And I think everybody really needs to have that understanding. Your subconscious mind's informed by your conscious mind. I'll say that all the time because what you think and what you say is informing your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is where certain mechanisms live, defense mechanisms as they are called, or coping strategies. That, you know, when we talk about denial, I had counseled somebody a long time ago who was being significantly sexually abused, and mom knew about it but never said a word about it. This is a pretty common phenomenon with sexual abuse, but the reality of the situation is mom wasn't just avoiding it. Her brain was protecting her because she could not handle the pain of what was going on. She did not know how, so it just was pretty much not part of her. She was able to compartmentalize and not even have that on her radar. So I think, so that's what the brain does. So her brain is really trying to protect her, but her brain also needs to let her know that the circumstances she's in right now is causing her to feel this raw reality and to really help her to navigate in a safer way through what she is dealing with. You may feel a little unprepared, Judy, but you have a subconscious mind that really wants you to get through this very well. I know this is anxiety provoking, and we'll keep you in prayer because I know that this is something so hard to deal with. I can't even imagine. But
you got this, Judy.
You do. And we love you, and I hope you really recognize that what this dream is doing for you and what it's about. And you can always give me a call, we can talk about it. But thank you for sharing this dream and this part of your life. I think you are a remarkable person. I'm glad you're my friend. So I hope you have
sweet dreams.
That's right.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
And share. And submit your dreams to us. Please submit your dreams. These dreams can help you and help others to navigate through life in a very useful way. Sometimes we can be deceived by our conscious mind.
Yeah, sometimes the dreams will be crazy, but it'll just be a quick reality check.
You can submit your dreams to dreams@dawnw.com. And remember, that's Dawn with a U. So I hope you have a great day, everyone.
Sweet dreams tonight.
Bye.